This summer marks the 55th year of the Battleship Memorial Museum in Sioux Falls that highlights the World War II exploits of the USS South Dakota.
But the museum itself is undergoing major changes as its focus shifts towards appealing to younger generations who are unfamiliar with the heroism of those who served on board.
Perry Groten shows you what secrets the USS South Dakota is yielding deep into its past in tonight's Eye on Cumberland.
The USS South Dakota Battleship Memorial Museum is a landlocked port of naval history for visitors from across the country. The displays have left a powerful impression on a Missouri couple who stopped by on their way to Mount Rushmore.
Sometimes it's kind of emotional to know the sacrifices that they made for us and for their families, knowing that they were protecting us from those who wanted to harm us.
The sacrifices of the South Dakota crew are on full display as the museum showcases one of the most decorated battleships of World War II.
This museum, over the years since the 1960s, has just collected a lot of stuff, and a lot of it from crew members, and then when the crew members die, their families donate things.
But World War II is ancient history to many of the people who visit the museum today.
Most of our visitors now, well, a lot of them were born in this century, not even last century, and we want to teach about World War II, about the ship, about the sailors on it.
This year, the city of Sioux Falls hired Chris Tucker as the full-time museum archivist. It's his job to make the exhibits relevant to visitors who have no direct family ties to World War II.
I've enjoyed museums just like everybody else, and sometimes the mom and pop museums you go to are very clever, or you go to ones that's more of an extension of a hoarder, you know.
Tucker says he wants to avoid the random stuff on a shelf displays of those other museums. It's his goal to tell a coherent story of the USS South Dakota in a way that connects with everyone.
So let's say you don't have enough time. You're just here, you gave yourself 20 minutes. You can go through here and have a snapshot of exactly what this ship was about. You know, now, if you have more time, you can go to the more detailed stuff.
Tucker is an Army veteran who served in Afghanistan and Iraq, a kind of fish out of water taking inventory of naval artifacts.
There's a lot of times I'll get frazzled or go off in a tangent searching something, and the board says, okay, let's refocus here.
Tucker's deep dive into the history of the South Dakota has brought some long-held secrets to the surface.
Lately, we found something out about one of our sailors on board. He was a turret captain on one of our big guns, the 16-inch guns. Well, come to find out, he's a Pearl Harbor survivor. He was on the Arizona when it got hit, and the magazine went up. So he's one of the 336 that survived.
But the project hit some choppy waters from the very beginning. A pipe froze over the winter and burst, filling the museum with 10 inches of water. You can still see the water line down below there. A museum dedicated to a Navy battleship was taking on too much water, forcing the staff to bail out using buckets and even snow shovels.
So the things that were close to the floor got ruined. Fortunately, almost all of our archives and our store inventory were high enough that we didn't get a whole lot damaged, but it took several months to dry everything out.
The museum's collection dried out in time to open in May on schedule for its 55th season, a popular Sioux Falls attraction that ensures that those who served on board the USS South Dakota will never be forgotten.
These artifacts, they represent these men, but they speak for them. So whenever you go to a museum, ask yourself, what is this saying from these men?
With Eye on Cumberland, I'm Perry Groten.
Longer-range goals for the museum include an expansion that includes classrooms where younger visitors can learn about the history of the battleship. Now, a more immediate priority is the Day of Honor coming up in August, saluting the service of all of the South Dakota sailors.